Before we get into today's video, I did want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance in hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all have had a wonderful week so far. I hope everybody's feeling great on this Thursday evening, actually, probably by the time you guys are watching this. And I hope everybody's getting geared up again for a good weekend. And for those of y'all that will be celebrating Thanksgiving next week, I hope y'all are getting ready and getting your recipes together and getting ready to spend good quality time with family. Speaking of family though, do y'all remember the James Bulger case that I did? I think I did that video about 2 years ago over here. Now, this was a situation that happened back in 1993 in England. If you don't know about that, I highly suggest you guys go and watch it. I will actually pin it in the top comment here so you guys can go and easily find it and watch it if you need to, because this is going to be a follow-up. Before we go any further, I did want to stop and thank today's sponsor, Liquid IV. Liquid IV is a delicious hydration multiplier that you can take with you on the go. You can put in your gym bag. You can have in your car. All you got to do is tear the little package open and pour it into your water bottle. Drinking just one Liquid IV multiplier will help you get hydrated faster than just drinking water alone. And when you drink Liquid IV, you get 3 times the electrolytes of the other leading sports drinks that are out there, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients for faster hydration and everyday wellness, and 100% daily value of essential B vitamins like B3, B5, B6, and B12. And for a limited time only, you can use my discount code Christina Randall for 30% off of your order. All you got to do is click the link down in the description box and put my code in and you can start saving. But this Black Friday sale is only for a limited time, so make sure you guys stack up. And if you have somebody that has a family member that maybe works out, they work outside a lot, or they just need to get hydrated more quickly, you know, you never know. You could put them in the stocking stuffers. And I personally take my Liquid IV packets with me everywhere I go. I even take them with me when I go on vacation, especially when I'm flying, because I really feel like flying makes me so dehydrated. So again, if you guys are wanting to try Liquid IV, now is the time to do it. You can save 30%. Just click the link down in the description box. Use my discount code Christina Randall, and you can save big today. Thanks again, Liquid IV. Briefly, to remind y'all what happened back then, James Bulger, he was at the mall back in 1993 over in England with his mother, and he was 2 years old at the time when he was lured out of the mall by 2 10-year-olds. Now, this is something I don't believe any mother or father or parent expects. If you go somewhere in public, maybe the doctor's office, or you're in Target or Walmart or a park, and you have your little ones with you and they start chit-chatting and hanging out with, you know, other ones their age, you never think anything, right? It's like, oh, it's so cute, right? Well, when James Bulger's mother turned and looked and realized that he was missing, she obviously went into a panic and a tizzy, calling his name, James, James, looking for him. And when she was finally able to see the security camera footage of the mall, that was when, to her horror, she saw these images right here, which was her son being led out of the mall by the hand. Sadly, she never saw James the same way ever again. And you guys can go and watch the first video to see the details on that. Now, the way that we do things in America and the way that the justice system is set up is obviously different than other countries. And they have different rules. Some are way more lenient than us, and some are way more what people would consider strict or inhumane. However, this situation that happened back in 1993 when Jon Venables and Robert Thompson lured James out of the mall and James never returned back home alive again. So at the time, Jon and Robert were the two youngest people to ever be charged with crimes like this. And because of this, they were charged as juveniles versus adults. And get this, the two of them were given lifelong anonymity. I know I'm not pronouncing that right, but basically meaning that for the rest of their lives, their identities could be hidden. So that means if they get out, they get a brand new identity and nobody can ever know that they are Jon Venables and Robert Thompson from the situation with James Bulger. So they could literally go into hiding, but out in the public, and the public would not be privy to their information and who their new identities are, no matter what they did, which is mind-blowing. Okay, so you following me so far? We know about what happened back in 1993. The two boys are arrested. They are charged as juveniles. They're given this anonymity, so they will have a new identity and, be protected for the rest of their lives. Well, they are released from prison in 2001. Okay, so both of them get out in 2001, which is not even 10 years after the incident. Could probably only imagine the horror of James's parents, how they felt. In 2010, Jon was rearrested for possessing photos of people underage in ways that nobody should ever have photos or make photos or any of that. Okay, so we know what happened in 1993, led by the hand outside of the mall. Less than 10 years later, he's released, and then less than 10 years later, he's rearrested for this crime. But it doesn't stop there. At that point, you would think, okay, he's going to stay in prison, because you can tell not only has he not been rehabilitated, which is what the justice system is trying to say that they were set up to do, but he has reoffended in very similar ways.
As a free man with a secret identity, Venables allegedly breached his release conditions and was sent back to jail in March. Today, in London's Old Bailey, it was revealed the 27-year-old has been charged with making 57 indecent photographs of children between February 2009 and 2010 and distributing 7 indecent images of children in February this year.
So twice after the situation that happened back in 1993. So you would think, okay, this guy, obviously the streets are safer without him on them. I mean, obviously our little ones, our children are not safe with this person, or the people that live over locally to where he is over in England. It's just safer for him to be behind bars. But Jon Venables is actually in the middle of going back to a parole hearing to get released again. And it's a closed hearing. So James Bulger's family are not even allowed in it. It's closed to them for the protection of Jon Venables. Now get this, I could not believe this when I was reading about this and listening to news media outlets from overseas. The way that they have it set up there is they have Jon Venables, they have him a whole new identity, a whole new name for his protection. So if he is released on parole, he will get a protected identity so he can be protected. And the family won't even know. They will not be privy to the release of him, the name that he'll be using. It's unreal to me.
Our system is built on redemption, and we don't have an American-style system where sentences are just stacked on top of one another. We recognise that people can change, and I think that's a very important principle. Jon Venables poses unique challenges for the justice system, there's no doubt about that, but he is one of the most closely monitored ex-prisoners in the country.
It didn't work very well because he went back to prison twice for offences against kids.
Very true, but...
Challenges to the judicial system or challenges to the British public because he might be amongst us.
So, living in a civilised democracy, we have to live with the possibility, however difficult, that people will reoffend.
I don't even know how that attorney got up there with a straight face and said that, to be honest with you. I don't. And listen, y'all all know about my history. At the age of 21, I got sentenced to 3 years in prison, okay? And I was a little hoodlum. I deserved to go. One thing I can tell you is somebody being in prison, although uncomfortable, it sucks, shadiness, all kinds of stuff goes on in there, you still have a life. You still can do things in there. It's like a little world within inside of a world. I've told you guys this before, and you actually can do good within the prison if you really want to. The fact that it's being made to seem like he deserves this right to get back out and basically try again is unbelievable to me. And if he needs to be protected and needs to have a whole new identity, keep him inside of the prison because he can be protected in there. Keep him inside of a solitary confinement. That way nobody can get him out here in like the free world. I just don't get it, y'all. I do not get it. A whole new identity too, like the protection. Wow. To me personally, it's already going to be very difficult for a person to come out into the free. Okay, if you have a 10-year-old that gets sentenced to life in prison, they spend all of those very important years of like where they're learning, they're going through puberty, they're, going through all of these changes that teenagers go through, right? He spends those years in prison and then gets out. And then it's a whole new world out here. Never drove a car, never paid a bill, anything. Then they get back into doing things that are very similar to what they got sentenced to prison for, and then they get sent back to prison. And then they come out and they get sent back to prison and they come out. It makes me think of people that can be institutionalized. And what happens if they let this guy out again? They give him an identity to protect him. He decides, I can't do it in the free world. I'm actually more comfortable in prison. I've spent the majority of my life in there. So instead of getting caught with pictures this time I'm going to go all the way and I'm going to do something, and then I'll just go in there to stay because I already know it's familiar and how it works. Because some people think like that. Some people get so institutionalized from being in prison for so long that they get out and they go, well, I'll just do whatever I want, and at least I know what to expect once I'm back in there. I don't have to worry about it. I got 3 hots and a cot, whatever. Now, that's not the majority of people, but some people do develop that mindset. And you can't even keep your little ones away from this person because you don't know their name. You don't even know what they look like anymore because they've been protected. I don't know. It's ludicrous to me. I cannot believe it's happening. And good for Jane Bulger's parents, as painful as it has to be, for speaking out and doing interviews in the media in order to bring this to the attention of the public, because it wouldn't be known because it's all been so secretive. That's not something that I know of that they do here in the U.S. I mean, we got our corruption, okay, like a lot of other places, but I mean, they don't seem like they're high. I mean, the only people that they covering up for is the people that they want to cover up for, if you know what I mean. But us regular folks, if you do something, honey, most of the time they're going to plaster your face all over social media and their websites and everything else. I mean, they're not going to be hiding anything for anybody. So I don't know. What do y'all think? I mean, if he would have been arrested at his age in 1993 and spent 30 years in prison, I would still be concerned because of those very important developmental years being spent in prison. And I would think that he or anybody would need a lot of help, basically somebody holding their hand in the free world. And it would take a lot. It would take a lot psychologically for them to reconnect with people on a normal human level because they've spent all those years in prison. But the fact that he's been out and in and still gone after these images of other children that are of that nature, I have to believe the court system's going to do the right thing. He needs to be in prison. The streets are safer with him off of it. And it is so sad that James' parents even have to fight this fight all these years later. But good for them, too. Good for them for still continuing to want the streets to be safe and nobody else to end up like them. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Other than that, I love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow for our Friday video. Thank y'all for being here, and I'll see y'all soon. Love you guys. Bye.